You are unique. You are so incredibly unique that nobody, not one single person of the billions of people who have existed on this planet share the same lived experience as you. Nobody. And when we learn to tap into that uniqueness, learn to come home to who we really are, then our life makes sense. Then we find our natural rhythm, and that is magic. Yet, so many of us are removed from who we really are. We live a life that doesn't honor this person that we need to be. We've become strangers to ourselves. But the best thing about every stranger is, it's just a friend you haven't met yet. And every single person in your life that you love was once a stranger too. Our task in this world is to get to love and know this person at our center. Sounds easy, doesn't it? In order to come home to ourselves, we need to answer three very, very simple, yet absolutely profound questions. They're the kind of thing you hear all day long every day, but you never answer, because to really answer is really challenging. They're as simple as, where are you, how are you, and who are you? Who are you? Who are you right now as you're sitting listening to me talk? How are you identifying? What roles are you playing? Are you a father, a son, a mother, a brother, a sister, a daughter, employee, employer? It goes on and on and on. And we play all these roles in life all of the time. And sometimes we're just playing the roles, we're adapting to the roles, or too often we're identifying as the role. And we become this thing that is not ourselves, and we lose ourselves in the process. Look at me, for example. I worked in the corporate world for over 20 years. I identified in the corporate world. I thought I was important. I thought it was important. Ironically, after 1 week, I knew it wasn't for me. And I still lasted 20 years because I don't quit. And I would meet friends and they would say, Mark, why are you still working in a bank? Oh, you know, the job, the kids, the mortgage, the cars, the holiday. All legitimate excuses. Yet all still excuses. If I answered that question honestly, I would have said, I'm scared. I'm afraid. I'm afraid of taking a risk. I'm afraid of putting myself out there. I'm afraid of what others could think. I'm afraid of failure. I'm afraid of judgment. And that fear, it is so prevalent in our world, in our culture, in our society, and in ourselves. Every time we're scared, we build a wall to keep us safe behind. When we're young, we put ourselves out into the world and we're vulnerable. And we get hurt. And we say, that is not happening to me a second time. So we build a wall. And then we're hurt in a new way, we build another wall. And we spend our whole time building all these walls to protect ourselves. So we're safely tucked in behind these walls. Easy. And this safety instinct, it runs deep inside us. Because as a human species, we needed this to survive. As we evolved on the plains, we needed to have this fight or flight. But does it still serve us? I haven't seen any saber-toothed tigers around in a while. Has anyone else? And yet here we are, staying safe. But if it doesn't serve us, what does it cost us? Let's ask the second question to answer that. How are you? How many times today have you already heard this? How many times have you already said it? And how many times have you actually answered it? I bet you around about 0. Because we hear this all the time and we don't really want to answer the question. We'll say, I'm grand. I'm grand. I'm grand. Can you not hear me from behind the wall? Because we don't have to answer it because we're protecting ourselves. The truth might be a little bit closer to, I'm not really good. I'm struggling. I'm lost. I'm so unhappy. And I know that was my truth. And I was sitting about 2.5 years ago at home, still working, 11 o'clock at night, identifying as my role as a corporate employee because I thought I was important. And it dawned on me, if I do not change what I am doing, this was my future until I retired. But my father passed away at just 57 years old. And his father at 38 years old. So I might not even get to retire. And that was frightening. So I had to weigh fear against fear. The thing is, it's easy staying behind this wall, isn't it? Look at how beautifully decorated we make it. All the distractions, the things that mean we don't need to think about what's really going on. The holidays, the TV, the phone, the good life. All the beliefs we have that I'm not good enough, I'm not strong enough, I can't do that, I don't like that. All of the stories and the narratives that we tell. But who are we telling when someone asks the question, is it us? Is it them? Are we just building it nice and safe inside here? Because behind here, this is our fixed mindset. This keeps us stuck where we are and we can't get past it. Because every single thing we see is good or it's bad. It's win or it's lose. We're trying to control the outcome because we think we can control it. But it is not good or bad. It is not win or lose. It is win or learn. And what we learn is we learn about ourselves. We learn a bit more about who we are and what we need in this life. And as we learn, we grow. We become this bigger version of ourselves. And that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to grow. And then we can ask the third question. Where are you? And I know you're all here in this wonderful St. Patrick's Centre in Downpatrick, but I think you know by now I mean the question a bit deeper than that. Where are you in relation to your connections? Your connection to the world around you, your connection to your community. Because as a human species, without community, we would not have survived or thrived. We didn't kill the saber-toothed tigers on our own, you know. It was a joint effort. But more importantly, where are you in terms of connection? Connection with yourself. Because this is the important thing. And how are you and where are you is designed to talk about our self-awareness. Because we cannot change what we're not aware of. But this, where are you now? This is designed for our self-compassion. The compassion to finally forgive ourselves for all those things we've done that we wish we didn't do, and we still think about it as we're driving the car. The compassion to let go of all those mistakes we've made, the things we said we should do, or we would do, or we could do, and we didn't, and we feel so bad about it. The compassion to actually accept ourselves, to accept this person we are, to accept all of our flaws. Because I am human, and I am flawed. I am not perfect. Far from it. Just ask my wife. But I am unique. And when we learn to accept this about ourselves, it all sits outside of us. All these mistakes, all these things we've done wrong. When we accept all of ourselves, we stand into ourselves and we become this bigger version of ourselves. We become a whole person at last. And this self-acceptance means we can finally love ourselves, the person who we really are. And that is powerful. In fact, that is empowering. It's so empowering, we can pick up that sledgehammer and we can go at that wall. Oh, and it will hurt. Anyone who's ever swung a sledgehammer or something hard knows it reverberates through the whole body. But we have got to go at that wall a second time. Because this is hard work. But you know what else is hard work? It's hard work distracting yourself all the time. It's hard work believing all these things that keep you safe. It's hard work telling the same story and the same narrative all the time. And it's hard work knocking this wall to be yourself. But at the end of this work, there is authenticity and there is magic. And that is the hard work worth doing. So you've got to choose your hard. I left the corporate world, to be more accurate. I got early release for good behaviour. But the truth of it is, I actually got released from this prison of my own making. And I asked myself the question, well, what now, Mark? Do the same thing somewhere else? Get well paid? Continue to live this life that you don't like, but retirement is in the future? Epiphany, though. It's there in my head. I have to make these changes. And I asked myself, what did I value? And for me, family comes first. But how can I make that work in the world? What else do I value? I value people. That's why I stayed in the corporate world so long, because I always loved the people I worked with. So I needed to find a way to honour that value. Find a way to help people to be their very best selves. Find a way to inspire and motivate people to get out of their own damn way and be this person they can really be. That's why I'm standing here. I'm standing here because I need to be standing here. And this is the key. The key is, what do you value? What are those things in your life that are so important to you they have to happen? You need to find what they are. You need to honor them. You need to make sure you are living them in your life. And if you don't know what they are, look to those things that make you happy. Not happy with a grin, happy that you know in your core. Those things that make you proud. Proud so that you know that you're honoring the person you really are. The things that make you angry. And I don't mean angry because it goes against these beliefs you use to keep you safe. I mean angry because it goes against what you know to be right and true. When you honor these things in your life, you are beginning to live a life that makes sense for you. And everyone is out there. They're looking for this purpose. What is my purpose? It's not out here. It doesn't exist external to you. It lives at the end of your values. You honor your values, you'll find your purpose. You'll find your sense of meaning. And this is where your life begins to make that sense. And you no longer need to believe that you are worthy. Because in every single belief, there is doubt. Now you know that you are worthy. Other people's opinions, their judgments, that's theirs. We're not here to compare ourselves, we're here to be ourselves. And this allows us to come into this rhythm. Because as we know we are worthy, we now know that we can say no. No to those things that don't serve us. No to those people who hold us back from being who we need to be. Yes to the things we have to do because we always wanted to do them and we're no longer scared to do them. Yes to the changes we have got to make before we retire in case we don't get there. This is how we begin to live in rhythm. How we take responsibility for ourselves. We stop reacting to the things that happen and we start choosing our actions in the situation, choosing our actions in the moment. And as we choose these actions, we find a rhythm with ourselves, rhythm with the world around us. And I am dancing. And I clearly cannot dance. But that's how it feels. It feels like when you're on your own at home in the kitchen and you're dancing as if no one is watching. It feels like freedom. The freedom to be the person you're meant to be. The freedom not to worry about what other people think because you're being yourself for you. The freedom not to doubt yourself because you're living a life in line with your values and what you need to do, meaning and purpose. It is the freedom to be the person you're supposed to be. It is the freedom to finally be yourself. And that's it. That's the magic. It is the freedom of being yourself. Thank you.